Bring us peace in our time, O Lord. Bring us peace in our time.
I'd like to dedicate this reading to the Extinction Rebellion. The last night of 1982 wasn't spent boozing, partying and singing Auld Lang Syne, but freezing my butt off in the Oxfordshire countryside. Hello, and if you saw my launch video, then welcome back. We're still more or less in lockdown and some way away from events in bookshops or literary festivals or even public meetings. So today I'd like to share another short episode from my book, Confessions of a Non-Violent Revolutionary. Well, I'd spent much of 1982 in the United States, where I joined a peace march across the country, joined 1 million people in Central Park and taken part in my first direct action, blockading the UN mission of the British government. I came back to England at the end of September and went to Bradford to join the Peace Studies course. However, I spent most of my time protesting, and this reading is about New Year's Eve 1982 and New Year's Day 1983. And I've chosen this extract because it was a time of great optimism and hope, and in these uncertain and troubled times we badly need both. It also makes me think of the current generation of direct actionists, particularly the Extinction Rebels. They've achieved so much, but they need us to support them in the future, so they hopefully will achieve more than we managed in the 1980s. The last night of 1982 wasn't spent boozing, partying and singing Auld Lang Syne, but freezing my butt off in the Oxfordshire countryside. I'd chosen to join a blockade at USAF Upper Heyford in Oxfordshire. Upper Heyford was one of the biggest and most important American air bases in Britain, and it was home to a squadron of long-range bombers with a significant nuclear capacity. New Year's Eve had been chosen for the symbolism of ending one year and starting the next, as we meant to go on, demonstrating for peace, disarmament and against nuclear weapons. The plan was to create a human chain around the entire base, and in doing so, block all the entrances and exits. We arrived at Upper Heyford in a minibus from Oxford at around 6 in the evening. It was already very dark, and the cloudless night sky sparkled with stars that warned of a seriously cold night. With good local knowledge, our group from Oxford had chosen to block a country lane that was the only route to a rear entrance of the base. The driver had taken a circuitous route in order to put the police off our actual intentions, and the plan was to get out of the bus quickly and double back on ourselves in order to block the road before the cops had cottoned on to our destination. The driver turned left at a crossroads and then stopped suddenly. We got out as fast as possible and started half running, half walking back to where we wanted to be. A group of 4 or 5 coppers saw what we were doing and moved to intercept us. It was like a grown-up game of British bulldog. The police couldn't cover the whole width of the road, so they targeted individuals and let others through. This activity had got the adrenaline flowing, and for about an hour we were high on the success of evading capture and successfully blocking the road. However, we began to realise that actually no traffic was trying to get past. It transpired that in order to avoid conflict, the commander of the base had decided to close it for the night once everyone was in or out after 7 o'clock. We now had to sit it out until midnight on our own. We kept our spirits up by singing peace songs and received a welcome hot drink from a support car. From 10 o'clock onwards we were getting very cold as the thermometer plunged to well below freezing. After midnight we walked a couple of miles to our pre-arranged pick-up point and were delighted to see the minibus approaching. Piling in, we started to thaw out and convinced ourselves that it had been a worthwhile exercise. A small success, and the best thing was that after we got dropped off at Oxford Station to walk back down the Botley Road, a newsagent had left an Oxford Mail poster outside. Peace protesters closed Heyford Base, it declared. Not entirely true, but a great souvenir. We woke up on New Year's Day 1983 with the news that around 40 to 50 women had broken into Greenham Common whilst we were at Upper Heyford. They had managed to get on top of a silo, and a picture of them dancing on top of this stark symbol of war made headline news and became an iconic symbol of our struggle. They were arrested and a special court session was convened in Newbury for them to face charges on New Year's Day. My friend John took us down in his VW camper and we hung around outside the courthouse for a couple of hours. The crowds grew steadily and we must have numbered over 200 when the women started emerging, wildly whooping, cheering and hugging. We sang the Greenham anthem over and over again, with pride. You can't kill the spirit. She is like a mountain, old and strong. She goes on and on. Our movement was growing stronger day by day. CND membership was exploding and opinion polls showed small majorities for refusing cruise missiles. Importantly for me, CND was now embracing non-violent direct action as a legitimate tactic. A string of large-scale actions were planned for this new year. So I started 1983 full of hope. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are interested, do go to my website, which is just called Confessions of a Non-Violent Revolutionary, where you can see more and also buy a signed copy of the book with free UK postage and packing. The book is also available through all the usual channels as well as all the standard ebook platforms. See you again, I hope, and in the meantime take care and the very best wishes to you all. Bye!
Can't kill the spirit, she is like a mountain, old and strong. She goes on and on and on, you can't handle the spirit. She is like a mountain.